Show after all them years of doing a cat sprinter, 2 gal in a van, 2 men in Milan, heard one of my things dating. P Diddy need to.
Up next, the Spurs taking on the Raptors. For the San Antonio Spurs, they're ranked 6th in the Western Conference. Maybe not a title contender, but absolutely one of the better teams in the league. Raptors, Spurs, tip-off coming right up. Thank you for tuning in this Sunday evening. Alongside Greg Anthony and Stan Van Gundy, this is Kevin Harlan. David Aldridge will be joining us from the sidelines. And the injury report for both teams, players who will not be available tonight.
And at this point in the season, everyone's a little banged up. These teams, no exception.
And the starting group for the Spurs. Zohan is the 4 with the lengthy Wembanyama playing the 5. Vassell in the wing along with Johnson. And it's Castle in at the point. And for Toronto, in at the forward spots, we'll see Barrett and Barnes. Dick is out there with Mitchell. And it's Pirtle in at the 5 spot. And Greg, when you're facing the front of a back-to-back, how much does that affect you as a player?
Before and after the game, for sure, it's on your mind. But once the whistle blows, you have to live in the moment. You can bet the coaches are very aware of it.
Here's Zohan. On the wing, Johnson. Wembanyama, a screen on Barrett. A shot by Johnson, no good. And it's Barnes with the ball for Toronto. Pirtle finds Dick. Puts up a 3. Buries the long-range jumper.
And that is why this team has Grady Dick, a floor spacer coming into the league with an elite three-point shot.
There's the drive, and Barnes sends it back. On the wing, Mitchell. 3-pointer, and again, Toronto with the triple.
In so many different ways, Dick gets the ball to his teammates, always on time and on target.
Well, Stan, when the Spurs landed the first overall pick in the draft, their fortunes changed back on May 16th, 2023.
Look, Kevin, the hardest thing for any franchise is to find the guy that you can build everything around. When they got Wembanyama, that dream came true for San Antonio, and they've got the guy they can build this franchise around for years to come. Well, you know Coach loves seeing the offensive game plan being executed to perfection.
Beyond the arc. It's not going to go for him. The Raptors have gotten their first 3 shots to go in for him to start off this game. And the Raptors hit again from deep.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
We're just about 2 minutes into the first quarter. Now, here's Vassell. Dick defending. Back to Vassell. All sorts of time. 2 points. That one goes.
Yeah, and that mid-range shot is really Vassell's primary weapon.
Toronto's got a perfect 4 of 4 from beyond the arc. A lot of their points coming by way of the 3 in the first quarter.
Yeah, great outside shooting, really fueling this run.
Vassell outside. And Pirtle sends it back. Pass to Dick. That's a 2 from Barnes. And the Raptors tack on 2 more. Breaking down some numbers here, the hustle stats for Toronto.
Well, their defense has been really impressive, especially the number of blocks they've managed to get. It's not easy to keep denying guys at the rim.
And another thing they've done so well is convert fast break opportunities. Great job trusting their guys and getting those easy ones.
Time now to turn to our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. David.
Hey, Kevin. Greg Popovich is guiding a young Spurs team that's hoping to return this franchise to the dominance that saw 5 titles since 1999. Pop said the standards haven't changed, Be very direct, demand, be fair, and love them. They got to know you care about them. So it's all the same formula from 25 years ago to today. Kevin?
It's an interesting story, David. Thank you. And, of course, as a Hall of Famer, you bringing that to us, perfect. And the Spurs making a change here. Jones has checked in. Let's see the stat sheet here for Jeremy Sohan.
In the last 5 games, you can see the trend upwards for effective field goal percentage. And it shows you how confident he's playing right now.
First quarter of play, we're about 3 minutes in. Pass to Wembanyama. A floater. His first shot is a miss. 0 for 1 to start the contest. Well, it was the San Antonio Spurs winning their last game against Philadelphia.
Well, in that one, they just had everything working offensively. It's a lot of fun when you get into that kind of a groove.
Yeah, and for a coach, seeing your schemes clicking like that is very rewarding.
So it's the Spurs now. Raptors knocking down the tray. Wembanyama hits the layup after the sweet pump fake to freeze the D.
And standing easily over 7 feet. When Wemby gets that ball near the hoop, literally nothing a defender can do.
And really, Stan, Victor Wembanyama has a chance to be one of those paradigm-shifting players. Don't you agree?
Oh, no doubt, Kevin. First of all, there are not going to be very many 7'4" guys come along and then come with the skills that he has on a court, the length, his mobility, how fluid he is. It's unprecedented.
Here's Pirtle. Hasn't made one yet. Barrett for 3. Good, and the assist goes to Mitchell. Mitchell's got his 4th assist in this one.
Their 3rd three-pointer in a row.
And so it's Jones. He'll bring it up for the Spurs. 19-point game. Some solid defense from Pirtle. Dick passes to Pirtle. Back to Dick. For 3, Barrett. And again, Toronto with the triple.
12 straight points off of three-pointers, and the D looks shell-shocked.
San Antonio's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. 3-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Kicks it out to Jones. Back to Sohan to stop the run. And it's Toronto with the rebound. They're getting their first look of the season at San Antonio in this one.
Not exactly a game that everyone will be talking about here, but both of these teams can show flashes at times.
And last year they split their season series, so this is a chance for one of them to get the upper hand on the other.
And so it's Toronto cruising into the quarter break with a 22-point lead. The scoring has been tremendous, and they are shooting lights out with very high accuracy. Right back after this break. And if you're just tuning in, we've got a wide margin on the scoreboard, but plenty of time left for a comeback. And a very convincing performance from the Raptors so far.
In that first period, they showed a willingness to make the extra pass.
Yeah, it's the kind of offense every coach loves to see. Selfless and smart.
And the NBA, right or wrong, Stan, has been called a copycat league before. If something works, it catches on quick. Is that a fair statement?
Well, I think it is to some degree, Kevin. Certainly, we all watch each other and learn from each other, and you're always looking to see what someone else does in their system that would fit into what you do, but you can never fully copy another team because the personnel is different.
Yeah, every roster's different, isn't it? And you've got to tailor things you want to do with what you've got.
That's exactly right. So if my personnel's not the same as yours, I might be able to take a little bit of what you do, but I can't take it wholesale.
Brown is in the shooting guard spot with Barrett at small forward. Then it's Olynyk, and it's Shed in at the 1 spot. That's the group for Toronto to start the second quarter. Pass to Champagnie, 5 to shoot. Here's Collins. Kicks it out to Johnson. And he goes right over R.J. Barrett and slams it down.
Well, it's amazing to me, the creativity. Johnson showing out.
Awesome display of athleticism captured by our AT&T 5G Slam Cam. Toronto's gotten both of their three-point attempts to go down here in the second quarter. And the defense of this Raptors team, Greg, they are built to switch.
And it's no accident with their roster construction. They like having wings that can guard all 5 positions. Makes defending a much easier prospect.
San Antonio calls timeout. Antonio making a switch here. Wesley's checked in. A moment now to look at the year-to-year scoring output and how it has been trending for Keldon Johnson.
And looking at his offensive numbers from the past few years, it seems like teams around the league have kind of figured him out. He's having to work a lot harder for his points, and they haven't been coming nearly as easily as they used to.
Second quarter, we're a little over a minute and a half in. Spurs passing it around. Mitchell against Jones. San Antonio again missing. Well, it was Toronto winning their last game against the Golden State Warriors. Pass to Barrett. There's the triple. And the Raptors hit again from deep.
Out of their last 5 makes, how about all 5 from long range?
San Antonio's gone 0-2 from deep here in the second. Here's Mamu Kelishvili. Once again off the mark by San Antonio. Now Olynyk. Jacks up a 3. And Barrett with the basket on the assist from Olynyk. Barrett's got 9 points now in the quarter.
And guys, he's been a one-man air raid coming at them time and time again.
Well, what I love about his three-point shooting is the spacing that he's adding. It makes things a lot easier for everyone else.
And it's blocked by Brown, and that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Brown. Let's take a second look at that fantastic block.
And big defensive plays like that will help them stay in control of this one.
Second quarter of play with almost 3 minutes gone. Wembanyama sets a screen for Vassell.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
Bertle dishes to Olynyk. Pass to Barrett. Mitchell outside. Lets it go with a three. The rebound by the Spurs. And once again, Coach, the storied San Antonio franchise is on the upswing.
It sure is, Kevin. Look, they've got a Hall of Fame coach and a potential Hall of Fame centerpiece to build a team around. They've got great talent evaluators in the front office. You can't ask for a better recipe for success.
And let's head over to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Thank you, Kevin. You asked Greg Popovich about Victor Wembanyama, and he says Victor's a different player. He's got talents, and you don't want to take that out of him. I tried to do that with Manu Ginobili, and I learned my lesson. Just shut up and let him play. Victor does some amazing things. His game is all-encompassing. Kevin?
That's a great way to put it, D.A. It is all-encompassing. Wembanyama is one of one. Hey, thank you for the report. Here's Jones. It's hauled in by Brown.
Wow. Missed the easy one right there, right at the rim, but came up empty.
Pass to Barrett. From deep. The shot's good. Brown making the play. Barrett's got 21.
Well, now that they've settled into this game, you can see the offense is firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, and that is key for them, continuing to build out this lead.
Vassell, no good.
I didn't see that miss coming. I mean, he's usually been money from that range.
Brown outside. And again, Toronto with the triple.
Having a lot of trouble stopping the three-point shot.
And so it's Jones. He'll bring it up for the Spurs. They've got the Pistons ahead of them in their next game in Detroit. That matchup falls in the middle game of this three-game trip. About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. They need this. And that one's good. His second basket of 4, shooting 50%.
And you can tell Castle loves the challenge, right? Accepts it there, and this time knocks it down from beyond the arc.
And the basket by Olynyk.
Both teams running perimeter-oriented plays that are working.
Well, you know it's become a three-point shooting league. Teams shooting a steady diet from outside.
What a performance from R.J. Barrett. He has been the story for Toronto. It's been an excellent game for him offensively. He's got 21 points and counting. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, Kevin. Here with Greg Popovich. Pop, what do you think was the main issue during the first half?
We didn't make shots.
Thank you for that insightful analysis, Coach. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. And stay with us, folks. We'll be back just after halftime to get the third quarter started.
And get ready for the fan. Half-court shot. Give me a beat. They're thinking about the shot. One more time. A round of applause for the participants.
Welcome, everybody. The story at the half could be summed up as a dominating performance for the Toronto Raptors.
It's one-sided on the scoreboard. Also in the rebounding column, they're hammering on these guys. This is how you blow a team out.
Yep, secure those boards, good things happen. Scientifically proven.
And during that first half of play, these two leading the way for their respective teams.
When you have two players going at each other like this, it becomes a point of pride. That's when the sparks fly. That's when it gets interesting.
For us and for the fans watching. And that concludes halftime. Now time to send it over to Kevin Harlan as the game's about to resume.
And after a very lopsided first half, we'll see if things play out a little more evenly here in the second. You know, R.J. Barrett has been exceptional here, guys.
Yeah, it's been a great performance from him, really staying focused on quality shots.
Yeah, he's found his spots, been patient with his shot selection, and it's paid off for himself and the team.
Instead, we seem to be in the midst of a big man renaissance in the NBA, and I love it. So that being said, which of these big stars do you like the most?
Well, that's a tough question because there's so much talent and they're all different. You've got Embiid, who is unstoppable offensively. You've got Wembanyama with his combination of size and length, skill and agility. You've got guys who can shoot the ball. But the guy that combines the most of those things that I would take, Nikola Jokic.
Here's who Greg Popovich is starting in the second half. Sohan is the 4 with the lengthy Wembanyama playing the 5. The cell in the wing along with Johnson. And it's Castle in at point guard. Down low and stolen by Barnes. Barrett against Johnson. Kicks it out to Mitchell. Lets it go from deep. And the Raptors hit again from deep.
They've given up a lot of three-pointers here today.
Spurs shooting just 28%. They are offensively out of whack and out of step with each other at this point. Castle misses.
Oh, he's frustrated there. You know he wanted to come right back with the 3 of his own.
Back to Dick. Toronto working the ball around now. Three-pointer. Good, and it's Barnes picking up the assist. Dick's got 21 in the game.
Yeah, that's 2 bombs in a row from long range.
Hurdle against Wembanyama. To the inside. And Wembanyama throws it down.
Watch out. Wembanyama hammering that one home.
Here's the Raptors with the ball. They're on a 12-4 run. Well, Devin Vassell has flown under the radar for a long time and passed a lot of fans, Coach. But we've seen it. He can fill it up.
Yeah, Kevin, look. He is an outstanding shooter. He's got great footwork. He can score at all 3 levels. He reminds you a bit of DeMar DeRozan, but maybe even with more of a 3-point shot.
Johnson can't get it to go. Toronto, they've gotten every shot that dropped since halftime. They're 5 for 5 from the floor. And the call will be against R.J. Barrett. That's his first foul.
And they have come out of halftime in fuego.
Brown is checked in for Grady Dick.
Coming onto the floor for your Raptors.
The Spurs have gone 2 of 4 here to start the second half. Here's Castle. Covered by Mitchell. Kicks it out to Johnson. A rebound by Mitchell. The Raptors have gone as spotless. 6 of 6 from the field since taking the court here in the second half. Drills the three-pointer. Barnes has got 5 now.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today? Ending with a basket, coming off a pretty pass.
Here's Sohan. Gets it to go from beyond the arc.
Well, we're seeing the progress on Sohan's jumper. Hard work in the offseason paying off.
And here's Barnes for 3. Good, and it's Mitchell picking up the assist. Mitchell's got 6 assists here tonight. Here's Castle, covered by Mitchell. Poked away and taken away by Brown. Mitchell with it. Sohan's there. Shot's good by Mitchell.
He's been reliable from the floor, and that's reflected on the scoreboard.
Pass to Castle. A 3-ball. It's rebounded by Scotty Barnes. And Toronto has possession. They've got the Wizards ahead of them. Their next game in Washington. And that'll be the first of a 2-game road trip for them.
And they're getting their points now almost exclusively from the triple. 4 of their last 5 makes are from beyond the arc.
Sohan with the ball. He's looking for Wembanyama and finds him. Plays it up and banks it in. Wembanyama has got 4 points now in the quarter.
That's very light work for Wembanyama from that close.
And here's Barnes for three. Gets the three-pointer to fall.
And they have been relentless from deep. And you see the defense trying to react, but to no avail.
Look, when the three is falling like this, there's not a whole lot you can do defensively.
Here's Vassell. Here's Wembanyama.
Oh, great decision there. Get it to Wembanyama and let Victor finish as the roller.
24 seconds left in the third quarter. And here's Barnes for three. Good, and it's Mitchell picking up the assist. Mitchell's got his 7th assist of the game with that last one. Here's Castle, covered by Mitchell. Pass to Sohan. Wembanyama left side. And so it's Toronto with a huge lead at the break. Safe to say there's no catching them today. The three-point shooting has come fast and furious to the tune of what has become a big-time blowout in progress. And we've got more M2K Sports coming your way after this break. And now a sneak peek into the huddle with Greg Popovich.
Nobody holds the ball, not even 1,001. You catch it, it's a shot, it's a drive or pass, whatever you got.
Specific instructions from Greg Popovich. If you don't have a clean look, don't have an open lane, move the ball.
Yeah, and the key is fast decision-making, and that takes great recognition from all 5 guys in terms of communication. That's really what we call chemistry.
And as we head into the fourth, we'll see if there's a comeback in the works or if it's more of the same from the first 3 quarters. Bruce Brown is out there with Walter. Then there's Chris Boucher. Then it's Olynyk. And it's Abaji in at the small forward. That's the 5 out there for the Raptors. Jones looking for an opening. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
That's his second.
Stan, I've always admired you. Come from a coaching family. Was there a point growing up you knew you wanted to be a coach?
Yeah, I loved being around the game. And so 2 things happened that drove me into coaching. Number one, I loved baseball and I couldn't hit one. So that was out. And I wasn't a good enough basketball player to go on that way. So if I wanted to stay involved in the game, that's when I knew I wanted to be a coach.
But your dad had a little bit of that in his background. I say in a little kind of tongue-in-cheek, right? He was a guy that led the way in your interest there.
Yeah, my dad coached for over 40 years, and I think he had a great passion for it and always used to tell us that he never actually felt like he worked a day in his life. He loved it so much.
Following in his footsteps, terrific story. The Raptors making a switch here. Walters checked in. And so Jones nails both of them. And the league clearly focused on making regular season games matter. Right? You think more steps are coming?
Well, let's give the league credit because they've left no stone unturned. The play-in, the in-season tournament, the 65 games rule, all implemented with that in mind.
Wesley with the ball. Collins a screen on Brown. Wesley the pass to Collins. And finished off by Collins.
Well, he led him with the pass there, almost like a quarterback timing a route. That was impressive.
Here's Abaji. And it's good off the back rim and in.
Unselfish basketball. That's what coaches love to see.
Jones up top. And out of bounds as the Raptors gain possession.
Wembanyama. Sissoko.
And Toronto has possession. Pass to Walter. And here is Brown. Launches it. Sinks the three-pointer. Brown's got a couple of three-pointers now in the fourth for Toronto.
I love that they're continuing to attack despite being up big.
Yeah, they're being absolutely relentless, building this lead in every way possible.
Toronto's gone 2 for 2 from three-point land to start the fourth quarter. Here's Abaji. The shot's good. Brown making the play. Brown's got 6 assists in the game.
Yeah, coming down the stretch, they've become reliant upon their perimeter game.
Well, if you're looking to get points in a hurry as the game clock's running down, that's certainly the way to do it.
Champagny passes to Collins. Toronto grabs the miss. Boucher with the ball. He's picked up by Collins. And here's Brown outside. Oh, yes, he did. 5 up and 5 down for him so far.
What I like here, even with the big lead, they continue to execute their offense.
Yeah, to put together this kind of performance at both ends of the floor on the road, it's impressive.
Here's Toronto now. They're on a 14-4 run right now. Pass to Olynyk. Raptors moving the ball around. And again, Toronto with the triple.
They just won't miss. I mean, this is incredible.
Well, as a coach, this is when you enjoy what you're watching. Your team playing well and everything just flowing.
Again, the miss by the Spurs. And here's Brown. He'll bring it up for Toronto. So far in the fourth quarter, they've allowed just 6 points. Here's Boucher. And the Raptors hit again from deep.
And they're getting points. They're getting stops. And this is how they'd like to play all the time.
Great example of how to build a lead and then sustain it. You win games on both ends of the floor.
Collins, a screen on Boucher. A shot by Wembanyama, no good. Toronto with the ball. They're on a 20-4 run.
Well, guys, this was never really a contest. Just a total obliteration, if you will. And you can safely say mission accomplished now for Toronto.
It was a standout performance across the board.
I mean, it was like watching a cat play with a mouse. They were able to do more or less whatever they wanted.
And now racking up there, I can't believe I'm saying it, 71st victory of the season. Wow. Not something that happens often. What a ride it's been for this team.
And with the win approaching, they'll take the first game here of 2 that they'll play against this team. Nice to get that first one out of the way and set the tone.
And you know, when you look at the huge impact he had, just a monster game for Grady Dick.
Well, bottom line, he was just unstoppable at times. Not much you can do when he's playing with that kind of confidence.
It's stolen by Brown. Now, here's Boucher. Pass to Abaji. Fires the 3. And the Raptors hit again from deep.
Taking no chances. They go on one last run to seal the deal.
Yeah, this run has poured a bucket of water on any ember of a potential comeback.
Wembanyama outside. Bangs home the trifecta.
And I like when Wembanyama is aggressive on offense because defenses feel helpless to stop him.
Takes the 3. And that one's good, Abaji.
Impressive job by the players, coaches, and don't discount the impact of these fans.
No, I'd be lying if I said the crowd doesn't have an impact. It's certainly felt from the head coach all the way down.
Left side, Jones. And so Toronto takes this one, but by a big margin. And the outcome of this one was never in doubt.
And boy, they really put in a supreme effort. It just felt like once they had that lead and it was comfortable, they were not going to relinquish it.
And that'll wrap it up, folks. With Stan Van Gundy, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching, folks, on 2K Sports. And as we leave you, let's take a look at our player of the game, Grady Dick.